Hi, folks. I'm sorry I'm not there today. I am feeling a bit under the weather, but I'm going to try to walk you through what's going to happen today. So, you have a series of tasks ahead of you to look back at the essay we have just completed, and hopefully, it will give you an idea of the expectations and some things that you can do to strengthen your writing in the future. So, the first thing you're going to do is come over to Schoology, and hopefully, you already have. You've clicked on this Friday intro video, and you're going to open the peer review Pear Deck. The Pear Deck will have all of the slides I'm going to show you, plus this video built in case you somehow miss it. And I'm going to walk you through all of them. So let's slide over to take a look at what those slides look like. We have the Do Now up. You should have picked up a copy of the exemplar essay from the back of the room, or if you're online, you can find it linked right there in the Teen Work folder. You are going to look through it for the next 15 to 20 minutes, either alone or with a partner, and you are going to attempt to identify the different parts. Now, I have tried to put them in order. There is a bin of highlighters at the back of the room. You can collect 4 of them. If you're working with a partner, you may want to share. But for the intro, you are looking for the hook, usually the first sentence that sort of pulls the reader in. Then you're going to identify any other background information I may have added. In this case, you'll highlight it pink. Look for where I name the texts and authors and summarize what those are about and highlight those in green. And finally, the last sentence of my intro should be my thesis statement. That will be highlighted blue. This is what my essay is going to be about, the argument that I'm making. All of you should have come up with one 2 classes ago, used it on your essay. Hopefully it went well. When you get to the body paragraphs, things become a little bit more complicated. The topic sentence is almost always the first sentence. It's going to introduce what that paragraph is about and what the argument is claiming. Eventually, once you get in there, you're going to find quotes or evidence, which you can highlight green. You'll find context, important information to understand those quotes, highlight them yellow. Analysis, important information about the quotes and how they connect to the claim, in pink. And then the paragraph should wrap up with a link or a transition in blue. Now, in my writing, I did not necessarily follow this order perfectly. So if you aren't sure what something is, do not highlight it. If you're certain what something is, highlight it. See how things fit together. They don't necessarily go in order. Finally, when you get to the conclusion, if you get to the conclusion, look for the restatement of thesis, highlight that blue. Look at the summary of previous points and highlight that green. This will probably name the texts and authors and their point. And then other info goes pink, and then a concluding sentence that sort of wraps things up in yellow. I want you to try to identify these parts. Now, if it takes you more than 20 minutes to do this, just stop where you are and move on. The next part of this is going to be to answer 3 questions on the Pear Deck. What did you notice about the exemplar? What stood out to you? What was different about this than your essay, or something that you didn't know you could do, something that surprised you, something that impressed you, something that you liked, whatever you noticed. Try to write a sentence about that. Then, what is one thing that you saw in the exemplar essay that could have improved your essay? Try to be specific. Don't just say, I could use more analysis or more evidence. Finally, my essay isn't perfect. I wrote it in a period, and even though it's a higher level than I expect out of my freshmen, that doesn't mean that there aren't flaws with it or things you might not like. So be critical of the exemplar essay. Once you have completed those 3 questions, you're going to slide into Schoology and find the Teen Work Essay Dropbox where you turned in your essay. When you click on it, at the top, there should be a little button marked Peer Mark Reviews with a glowing red button. If you click that, it will bring you to 5 essays of your classmates for you to review and look at. There are 2 questions you're answering. What is one thing that they did well? And what is one thing that they could improve on? Try to be specific on how they can improve. Each answer needs to be at least 20 words. If you don't get 20 words, it will not accept it. Now, if you run out of time in today's class to do this, that is okay. You have until midnight tomorrow to review your peers' essays. And if at the end of this you feel like your essay is trash and you can really improve it and you want to work on it, send me a message on Remind and you will have some time to be able to resubmit and I will adjust your grade accordingly. Now, it's going to take me a little bit of time to get these essays graded, probably not until the end of next week. So feel free to be preemptive. That means make those changes and start editing on your own. Next week, we're going to be moving on to a new unit. Once again, I'm sorry I couldn't be there, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take it easy.